Whew. What is up, y'all? Serrano 786 here. We're doing it special. I forgot that the Overwatch League was right now, basically. The day one of the June Joust is starting like right now, here in like a couple minutes. So we're gonna be watching it for the stream tonight. If I am streaming the days that they're doing it, we'll end up doing it. What I'm end up doing is putting it where we're going to watch the video together. I'm just going to be chilling, you know, go grab a drink, grab something to drink. I got myself a Pabst Blue Ribbon. It's hard coffee. I don't know if you can see that. It says hard coffee on there. Hard coffee, basically. It's hard coffee. But it's like a coffee that has alcohol in it. So, oh, we got the live picks. All right, so we got the commentators picking who's going to win. Yeah? Oh, this is interesting. So check this out. So they have...
Keeping it simple.
The Atlanta Reign, that's who I thought was going to win, or they're going to take this match, and then they have the Dallas Fuel against the Shanghai Dragons. It's going to be really interesting to see. So, yeah, we're basically going to be watching this. You know, I should shrink that. That is way too big on the side there. Is it? I wonder if I can actually, let's do this.
Serial spelling bee winner Uber and Matt, proud owner of a participation sticker.
I'm very good at participating. Yeah, if it was a spelling bee, I definitely would say my strongest would be participation in the spelling bee. Yeah, I don't think I would win.
Yeah,
Mitch
you
probably
turn up
highly
though.
likely to win, though.
Yeah,
no, I would
Matt
turn up.
Matt would be
I'd be
the one heckling me from the crowd in the final round.
A real hype man, or like the negative kind of heckling?
No, the negative kind. You know, like when I make a corny joke, but Matt has to stop and be like, "That's really corny," and then he keeps casting. That kind of heckling. You know what I mean?
All right, I'm gonna shrink this up a little bit on the picture.
Slow.
The sarcasm doesn't really come through the screen here. A lot of people confused. You know, people out there. No, in the chat on Reddit, a little bit confused with the sarcasm thing. Yeah, it's kind of going over people.
So I'm gonna be chilling here. We're gonna be watching this together. Like I said, crack a moment if you got them.
And that, like, you guys, I think Atlanta definitely favored.
After this, I'm gonna have a beer. Gonna watch some Overwatch matches. This is gonna be a really good one. The Atlanta Reign are playing the New York Excelsior, and then after this, at the 9 o'clock match, is it 9:30? It's 8:30. At the 8:30 match, it's the Dallas Fuel and the Shanghai Dragons. Obviously, people think the Atlanta Reign are going to do it. I think so. They're pretty good. I haven't seen the Excelsior play, but the Reign were looking good the other day, over the weekend on Sunday. So, and then Dallas Fuel, they're looking really good too. Represent from Texas, old Dallas.
Yeah, New York are defensive, right? When I see them play a bunch of this McCree, they remind me of the old NYXL, who always.
So they're just kind of talking right now. It's supposed to be right now.
Shield, like they hated dive. They always wanted to slow the pace of the game down. Like you said, I think it was Custer. Like we love talking about these narratives. That the
yeah. Either way, it's gonna be a good match. I'll turn it up once he actually gets in closer into the game and kind of just give my little.
They still want to be defensive. They still want to play slow.
Yeah.
Jonak must be the quote-unquote problem because he's the only remaining member.
Yeah, so we'll see if. I mean, we'll see if it's going to be the case. Obviously, we know that, like, Kovacs Kai is going to be pretty nasty in the back line, sat on the Ash or something. So, I mean, I can't wait to get this one underway. It's going to be red versus blue.
I think you broke Johnny with that one. Johnny
Choco.
I mean, the guy does the aim prank.
Get my drinks.
We're going to jump into the game, though, guys. Thanks for joining us so far. Love the shirt, Johnny. Big fan. Absolutely.
I should have bought more beer.
Love it. Matt, again.
He's a Swedish Grillmaster 76. He's dressing up as...
He said it's mackerel on the grill and not like Toby beef or whatever, you know what I mean? He's flipping mackerel.
Mackerel and cheese.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's great to be here. I mean, this part of the month or this part of the tournament cycle is always incredibly exciting. Finally, we get our regions going head-to-head.
Here we go. Let's turn this up.
Said it. The last time these two franchises played was 2019. I think it was a playoff game when New York won, but clean slate, as Danny put it. I mean, two teams that kind of came to the same conclusion about how they wanted to play here in the June Joust now get to face off against one another.
what are even the
go,
similarities
baby.
between the teams? Like the franchises are the
Atlanta's
same,
gonna win.
right? But these
I'm
teams
picking them
completely
too.
rebuilt since then.
I wouldn't say I want one to
New
win more
York
than the
in
other, but I think
offseason,
Atlanta's going to win too. I watched them on
you know,
Sunday.
You saw like
It's Sunday or
Monogo
Saturday.
and Sabio be
They were
Libero
looking
and
strong,
Animo, like
comfortable.
everybody
They look like,
besides Jonak,
you know,
and Bianca.
Flora's
really kind of get let
insane.
go.
I think he's
but they
actually
bring in
one
a
of the
lot
top
of young,
DPS
talented
in
players.
the
And I
Overwatch
think this is what
league.
they're banking
Like,
on is these players growing
my
over
friend
the
Jeremy
course of
was
this
telling me,
season, the course of the year. And this is like
Man,
a
those
building
stats are pretty
block
crazy.
to a new NYXL type of dynasty where they were really good at the beginning of the Overwatch League.
Oh, these
And I
are
think
their
so far
stats.
it's like paid
No,
off, right?
Florida's
They're
not one of the top
best
ones. I was
team
thinking of
in
Dallas
APAC.
Fuel. Sorry.
Sure.
Okay.
I would say that. No, the APAC is very
My friend was
tough.
telling me that
But the fact
Dallas
that they're able
Fuel
to
and the
qualify
Shanghai
for things
Dragons,
like this, I think
the
speaks
top
to, you know, where this team could
9
potentially
players
get in
out
the
of the 10, or 9 players out of the like
Jakob's got such an interesting story,
the
Matt.
12
He entered the lead
are like
to define,
the
right?
top
And didn't really
of
make
their
his
basically
mark.
what
He
they're
actually
doing,
ended up
or like
going
at the
back
top
and
basically. Something crazy like that. Some crazy statistic. Basically saying
contenders
that
career
Dallas
playing with
Fuel
O2 Blast. He ends
and the
up
Shanghai
getting
Dragons, the
contenders
later match
championship,
is going
and
to
he
be a
comes back into the
banger.
league and he's looking for glory this time. The Atlanta
Dude, this
Reign,
team, the
are
Atlanta Reign,
extremely,
yeah, dude.
exquisitely
Pelican
well
is really good
positioned to
on
succeed
DPS.
right now. Gator
Gator's a really good
best with
tank.
double shield setup.
Yeah,
Hawk,
the double
he
shields.
might hate dive.
See, look at those
more than
statistics though.
anyone
You
ever
have
said. He loves
okay. Look
to
at that
really
Pelican.
set up
He's
his
ranked
game.
number
His
3
sequence
out of the entire
incredible.
league.
This guy,
Tanking,
according to
they have
Wilson,
what,
is
number
ranked
4,
fourth
number
out of 39.
8 out of the entire
Despite the
league,
fact that these
and then
guys
their healers are
look
number
like they
4 and
like to play
7
double
out of the
shield. They
league.
can play anything. We've seen them. We've
Like-
seen them match even the craziest of compositions. These guys are ready to roll.
Yeah.
And I think they're definitely in the conversation as one of the 2 favorites to take everything away
Oh,
here
absolutely.
in June Joust.
I think the only thing you look at with the Atlanta Reign is, you know, they never dealt with this type of spotlight, right? We've always
What?
talked about them being
What?
the gatekeeper
What?
team. You know, maybe
What?
they're not able to beat those top teams. Now they come in as one of the strongest teams, one of the favorites. So how do they play from that scenario?
So we have Lijiang
in a
Tower
playoff
coming
style
up
game?
for
I
the
think for
assault
them,
map.
you know, luckily
So we have
you don't
assault,
you don't have an
we have
opponent
control,
here
we
at
have
the
a
beginning who has
hybrid,
a ton of experience
escort,
in
and
games
then
like this.
another
And really,
assault.
Jonak, the only one on NYXL at the
Or
Overwatch
control,
level
sorry.
who does. So Lijiang Tower will be map number 1 here in the series. And I think this will be pretty telling of how New York tries to combat Atlanta Reign's playstyle.
Yeah, or if they even try and combat it, Matthew. Atlanta have tried both the Orisa Sigma and they bring the Orisa Diva in if it has to be there. The Reign have showed us a ton of different things, right? We
Oh, that's
expect
gonna
to
be
see
good.
Pelican, who by
I'm
the
more
way,
excited about the next
number
match, but this is
one
still
in the
gonna be
league
good.
on duplicate kills
This is when
right
we're
now
really starting to get
on
in shit.
Echo. The Desk talked about how aggressive he wants to be.
Yeah, this is the
Reign
control
look
map.
very well balanced right now. And frankly, the meta in APAC is
Those are
is
the
really
unavailable
hard
Harriers
to
for
follow.
June Joust
Like
in this tournament,
They got
so
some wacky
can't use those.
compositions. I think Custer sort of teased and said that he wanted to see New York sort of
It's kind of cool that they do this to kind of rotate like
style.
the meta,
Right
essentially.
now, we might get the
So if,
the
like, one
Moira
character's
Lucia
being
from
used
them to
more or
start with,
whatever.
but even I mean, the Wrecking Ball
The last time they
will be
met was
interesting
2 years
picks up
ago.
here, and there's
And
always
Atlanta
potential
killed them.
symmetry here on Lijiang Tower.
Or
Matt.
Atlanta
This
won
is
that one.
Atlanta Reign's pick as we're kicking things off finally.
Oh, no,
in
no,
the
New
June
York
Joust.
won. Oh.
Yeah, and the one
Couple
thing to
years
point
ago,
out here
yeah,
for
New
the
York was
Atlanta
really
Reign
good.
is they have Edison in the lineup right now instead of Kai. We talked about
I mean, they're
Kai.
still ranked
He
number 2.
can play
But still.
at the top, but they'll opt for Edison
June
here at the
Joust.
start. They've done
We
this
have a
on
dive
the
comp
previous
from
control.
Atlanta.
So
We
New
have the
York comes out
Wrecking
with
Ball Diva for the
Wrecking
tanks.
Ball, in the
Healers are
lanes
mirrored, and so
of
we're pretty
this
much
kind of
the
rush, which
DPS.
is
So you have
very
more of a
odd setup.
divey composition
Nobody else really doing this.
versus the Wrecking Ball
Might be interesting to see just to what
Diva, which I
degree
guess
the
can still be
NYXL
kind
can
of like
harass the
diving.
back
It's just
line
a
of
little bit
the
different.
Reign, but it's actually Edison that goes down first. Flora's able to apply a decent amount of
Yeah,
pressure.
Feather here.
And in the meantime, Feather,
Deeps.
I guess, in contrast, plays very safely towards the back of the pack. But the Reign, they come off decidedly second best in that first fight.
You know, the Wrecking Ball offers like more personal like survivability than Winston, even though Winston has the bubble. Still with the pile drive with the Wrecking Ball, being able to get the adaptive shield so you can last for so long. It's just a very
Yeah,
odd
look at
composition.
Jonak's
It's
already.
not one
Okay,
that
Iris has
his
already
Wrecking
got
Ball usually is off on his own.
from Atlanta Reign
Just
already
to
has it.
counter
Actually, with
how
this
you wanna
initial
play with the Moira
engagement,
Lucia.
yeah,
Must be coalescing
Excelsior's going to come in
the
right
start
afterwards. Yeah,
both
because it was
teams.
right
Jonak's
near
a little
there.
bit later.
It's so
Yakum
easy to
just
get your ult up with
swinging for the
Moira, though.
fences there on the middle pole.
I think that's
Bianca
why
gets
she's
caught
so...
without healing, though. Looks like he gets
Whoa!
burst down. If Pelican's able to find him. Still, Edison falls again. Feather finds him with a focusing beam, Matt.
And a Moira duplicate here for Feather. So he may get he's going to get a Coalescence. And then Pelican, without the Winston to duplicate, he's actually going to duplicate the Wrecking Ball. So you'll see a Mines
That's
on
a
the
nice
point.
Reaper ult
And
there.
it'll be Atlanta.
He got a lot
who
of
should
those
be able
mines
to
out of
flip
the
it off
way.
the back of that. Sound barrier used towards the end for the Atlanta Reign. So they won't have that for the next
Dang,
fight.
that was a good pick by Pelican.
Takes that duel up in the
Straight
sky,
into it.
gets Feather, takes him out. But for the NYXL, you have this
That was
sound
a
barrier
nice
to
push there
engage
by
in this next
Atlanta.
fight.
That was a tough fight, I think, there for Flora to do much, of course. He was in a tough spot without his Diva in the front line, and that might have been why we had a duplicated Coalescence to keep him healed up, man.
At the end of that, you had Hawk actually have to use his...
That Wrecking Ball does
to get
offer a little
get
bit
a
more
new
utility. I
use
mean,
his
I would say the Winston
doesn't
is
have
more a
that
little
Coalescence
one-dimensional
there
in
for
comparison
Virus.
to that,
Forces
but
them back after that first pick off. I don't know how you get like really good value out of the ball here. Like Yakun goes in, he'll knock a bunch of players up, and now they start to try and go in with Jonak's Coalescence.
Yakung immediately has to be healed up by the Coalescence there from Jonak, so he doesn't have the opportunity to open with it aggressively, but Gator has already fallen here. And that's Flora, again, getting a ton of value from this Reaper, definitely highlighting the round so far for the NYXL. That should be a pretty comfortable fight win here. Matt, normally we expect these fights to really drag out, they go long with these compositions, but both of these teams are actually getting individuals picked off so early that these fights aren't going quite as long as we expect to see them.
Well, it's quite interesting. If you remember back, when GOATS was so popular, the one team who ended up kind of, you don't want to say like ended GOATS, but like would play well against it, was when Shanghai would play like triple DPS with the Wrecking Ball in the tank. With the teams playing so close together, you see with the pile driver how effective
Dang, they're
Yakun
talking
can
about
be.
the old days.
Maybe
when
they
you used
want
to
to
be
try and
able
use
to
the same type of concept. This will be Sound Barrier
and then they
plus
changed the
Death
meta
Blossom
to
used
2-2-2.
by the Atlanta
Those
Reign.
were wild days.
They're trying
You're
to
right.
flip the point.
That's what they're talking about right now.
Yakung tried to knock Edison
3
away
tanks, 3
from his
DPS.
teammates during that Death Blossom. Unsuccessful in doing so, and Flora, man, that's an odd one, Matt. That is an odd Death Blossom choice.
Well, you do have the Primal Rage used here at the end by Gator, so he just kind of laughs it off. He's probably wondering, what are they playing? But
My guy's chilling. He's wearing a leg. All of them are.
Yeah. This is what I was talking about, like how New York would find a path to victory. It's playing something like this that is effective, that throws Atlanta for a loop. So far, though, Atlanta's been dealing with it quite well.
Gator close to the choke here. He's a dueling Coalescences and a self-destruct. Flora has to use Wraith Walk early. That may be relevant in the coming moments because the NYXL don't have much time to wait. They're going over the point now. In plunges Feather. He's stuck with sticky bombs immediately, and then he tries to hit that backline. But who's he looking for? Initially, it looked like he was trying to shut down the enemy Reaper. Now it's whoever he can get the attention of, but it's Pelican to fall first. Jonak finds that kill. Feather with a remech there, and it's the Reign falling apart just as they're about to win the round.
That's all right.
So NYXL will flip it. With the percentage that's on the clock now, this will probably be final fight. Both teams with a sound barrier. Jonak a bit closer to Coalescence. But let's keep an eye on the minefield from Yakun. How does he decide to use it here towards the end? Could really be a deterrent for the point.
Edison TP's in big early hit there on Flora, but he goes for a Wraith Walk, maybe buying time until the sound barrier comes through. It does come after all, and Edison holds on to the Death Blossom.
They got the early pick on Flora.
Revenge serve cold in this particular case, but it's traded out. Feather finds the kill.
Yakun.
On the point, that's a self-destruct. Pelican getting value out of the duplicated Diva mech there to create a bit of space, and Gators there with the Primal Rage. Bianca forced out of mech, won't be able to get back in either.
Didn't catch anybody.
And it's going to be tough for Friday to touch the point at all. The Atlanta Reign playing close in his first round, and it goes about as long as it could have.
Atlanta.
But the Reign come out on top.
A bit closer than I think people expected.
That's how they just played. Like, even though they were like in for a lot of people would be very high situation, they seemed really relaxed. They kind of just took their time, and they knew they only had to get a touch to get that first overtime, and then they just started picking them apart. Focus down Flora, and then that's it. A lot of the times, that's what's so crazy about the Overwatch League is like, I mean, you can maintain with 5 versus 6, but it's usually really hard unless you get a pick like right after or within a certain amount of time. In the long haul, you're just going to slowly collapse. Unless somebody just happens to go off. That's where you get really crazy plays and shit. That's what makes the Overwatch League so
traditionally, this has
good.
not been a great wrecking.
I forgot how good it was.
This is one, if they wanted to play slow with the Orisa, you would, as the Atlanta Reign are.
Flora tries to go early to actually destroy that teleporter, I assume. He TPs onto the high ground just to be ready for it, but he can't get rid of it in time, so the Reign get what they wanted. They're set up on point here. And they have some turrets.
So what you do on this is you basically get Symmetra in the very beginning, and you can set up a teleporter, and then it goes right into the point. And then after your first death, you
it's going to be the Winston comp versus the Orisa variant with Pelican on the Doomfist. Yakun takes an absolute shellacking early in this fight. Very clever repositioning from Pelican there, using the teleporter outside of the way is usually intended, and he's able to snatch up Feather before returning to the point, forcing play from Jonak. Otherwise, he would have been squished.
And this is where NYXL has struggled at times throughout this season. Is
so
they
they just
haven't
killed
been able
themselves
to
to
play
finish the
with
fight
this
'cause they need to
fast
hurry
tempo.
up.
The Desk kind of talked about it. I think
Atlanta looking
Yakung
good.
is, struggled at times getting on the same page.
Regardless,
with the rest of the team
well,
supports specifically
My
on
friend Jeremy thinks that
how
whoever
to
wins
play when
the
they go with
Shanghai
Winston-based comps. That's why
Dallas
they look so
Fuel
good
team
with
is
a
going to
little bit
win.
of slower play style.
I don't know.
Maybe
And
with
Atlanta
the,
looks good.
Ball with a more
They look good.
play style as
I
well.
want Dallas to win, obviously.
He gets halted. He gets halted immediately.
Yikes. They just
no
took
chance
out
for him to survive that.
Yakun.
Adds the extra threat when you're dealing with the Reaper, man.
so
If you get held
great.
in place, that's more than enough time for the Reaper to go to work on those tanks with the Hellfire shotguns. A hasty retreat here for the Reign as, Jonak tries to turn the fight. It looks like it works. They catch Pelican. Fade had to be used there by Iris, and that's a self-destruct to catch Yakpung, but it's a very messy try and turn around here from the Atlanta Reign. New York will have the point at about 48%.
I'm surprised they invested in that because it didn't look like they were going to be able to turn that around, but
They got
they had the
point.
advantage in terms of coalescence. Jonak had it at the time, Iris didn't have his up. And they did have some players weak because Atlanta was chasing those kills, pushing on forward. So a really nice read from the NYXL. I don't think Atlanta expected them to invest and kind of come back into that fight.
Pelican, rocket punch. He just tries to bait a bit of action. Now we'll try it again. No dice this time around. Doesn't really want to tangle with the Echo and is forced to pull the plug here. Meteor Strike puts him back into the fight. It's going to be a Death Blossom there from Flora. It's just the one. Edison with one as well. It's Friday to
we have a
fall
healer
down.
down
Bianca getting
on the side of
pressured
New York
heavily on the
Excelsior.
point.
Bianca
Tries
went
to hide
down
behind
too.
the self-destruct as he fires it off. And that coalescence looks pretty darn sad
Man,
from
Atlanta's gonna
Bruna.
clean it up here, and
Going
they're
to be
gonna get the
forced to
point
play
back.
from the vestiges of
They
the
didn't
point
even
now,
get
Matt.
50%.
Is NYXL just trying to stall
So
this
it's
out
going
a
to be
little
really
bit more.
important for
Jonak
New
will
York
get on
to
the
come
point.
back and win this
This will be
point the
Atlanta
next time,
flip.
because
It
if
looked
they
like Feather
don't,
was trying to get on the
then
touch. He had some
basically
other players coming
Atlanta's
in.
not going to win.
For
They're going to get
NYXL,
really close to
they get it up
99%
to
or at
44%.
99%.
They invest
So it's
everything there
crucial, yeah.
to try and hold on to the point.
And
And
they
I
lost.
think this is, if you're the Atlanta Reign, you love
He's
to
saying
see
basically
this.
that they
If they
use a
want
lot of
to,
ultimates,
if they
yeah.
feel they can force like mirror matchups with these types of compositions, and then even slower ones, you feel great about Atlanta in this series.
Atlanta have had to tangle with this composition all through their matches in the Western region. They're in the minority in terms of wanting to play double shield, so they're ready for this. Here it goes, Coalescence from Iris. Feather not in a great spot to get any value here. Tries to TP forward. He would have had a Death Blossom there as well, but he gets taken out of that. Hawk's going to find him
That
in the air
was
as well, and that's
almost
Feather's
clutch.
wings clipped.
If he would have gotten
That is
behind
such a
him in the
beautiful
lines
play from
with
Hawk.
the
He
Death
realizes
Blossom.
that Feather's off to the side on his own, flies up, takes him out. This will be sound barrier for both teams.
Oh, shit.
Flora does get the pick there onto Iris, so that's pretty big, getting the Moira out of the equation.
Ooh.
Gator down to the primal rage of Yakpung. No, he's going to throw a bubble on himself. Pelican dives into the bubble so he can get the duplicate. Flora's forced to Wraith walk away from the Death Blossom, but Yakpung and Friday don't have that kind of luxury. Flora's going to be able to get just the one, and that'll be it. Feather again has to work in from the outside, and Bianca tries to pressure down Iris, but the Biotic Orb already did the work. It heals the Moira back up. Pelican beams Feather down on the outside of the point, and that'll be Bianca down to the sticky bombs. That will do the job. Atlanta Reign starts strong here, and they clock one up for Li Zhangtao.
Let's go.
I think when Atlanta can play those types of compositions and New York mirrors, I think Atlanta has a huge advantage in that matchup. I'm interested where New York goes next because they don't really have an advantage here where they can go and pick a map where they can play a little bit slower because Atlanta will play that style as well. Pretty difficult matchup in terms of style here for New York Excelsior.
No doubt about it. They're going to have to overcome that particular hurdle. They'll get to choose the very next map, Matthew, so that's something. NYXL now rack the brains and try and come up with something to stump the Reign. Stick around and we'll be back in a few moments.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile, America's largest and fastest 5G network. Set your sights on the competition with T-Mobile. And by Indeed, we help people get jobs.
You guys asked for it.
We definitely heard you ask for it.
We got you, fam.
This season, the Overwatch League and T-Mobile are partnering up to give you Overwatch League perks right here live on YouTube.
While we're clicking heads, you can click right here to connect your YouTube account to your Battle.net
To start earning Overwatch League perks by T-Mobile.
Collect Overwatch League perks to get skins, sprays, and more. Thank you guys so much for watching.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Shields up.
Go Shock.
Ante up.
Oh shit.
I'm so excited to be jumping into contenders.
It has all come down to this. The first grand final that's been absent of Hurricane in over a year. You wanted a superstar! Ireland has produced one! Griffin! Shadow fights free on the back line! And Griffin follows up with the 3K!
Yeah, sometimes there's just some plays you're just like, holy shit. It's kind of like the same thing with Valorant, how sometimes you just see these certain plays and you're just like, dude, they're fucking sick. It's a pretty good fucking dead eye.
He's angry. But here comes Seeker once again, fighting three.
Oh no, Hurricane! Griffin on point. Griffin death blossom.
But how could you possibly pierce through this defense of American Tornado?
We are witnessing history, Lemon.
My job is to help the gladiators find competitive edges. What IBM is doing with AI by introducing the power rankings is a game changer for the league.
4. And then 5, turn, kick.
We got chased by these wild coyotes.
We were following her because she had beef jerky in her pocket.
From behind me, come on.
Pick that up, right there.
As long as you keep making the internet an amazing place to be, we'll keep bringing you a faster, more secure, and more amazing internet. Xfinity, the future of awesome.
So you really, like, I even mentioned this earlier, but it was really crazy to think like that. Basically, that these are the top two teams, all right? Because like Atlanta looks way more comfortable in this than the. Look at Torbjorn. He's just chilling. Hold on. Let's turn this up. Atlanta just looks better. They just look better. That's why even though like I want Dallas to win, I think it's going to be really crazy when the Dallas and Dallas team go to Atlanta. I haven't seen Shanghai Dragons either. I was only really curious about the Outlaws in Dallas, but now that we're in the actual Joust, I don't know. I think it's still going to be good because some of the top players are in Shanghai Dragons. So I think it's going to be a banger. So hopefully it's just not one of those like 3-zip things. Like, let's hope like they just go back and forth. Sometimes they be like that though. Even though you're a good team, sometimes you just don't.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Coca-Cola, the official refreshment of the Overwatch League, and by IBM, the official cloud and AI partner of the Overwatch League.
He entered the Overwatch League as a rookie in its inaugural year, 2018. Pretty much an unknown quantity. Very quickly that changed, and now a household name is Jonak, the subject of our Indeed player resume here in his first match. Doesn't exactly get to strut his stuff on Moira, Matthew, but I feel like these credentials speak for themselves.
Yeah, you look at all the other flex supports in the league and how that role has changed over time. It really starts with Jonak. I mean, remember the inaugural season of the Overwatch League, how much of an offensive force he was on the Zenyatta. And it's really laid the blueprint for a lot of other players coming into the league. I think that's why you see so much firepower at that role. It'll be Kai now who comes in for Edison. This is a change that's pretty consistent for the Atlanta Reign. And the map that New York has decided to go to will be the Temple of Anubis for the next map.
Absolutely. And we know that always signals a change towards something that's hit-scan focused, Matt, like has talked about, and Kai is extremely dangerous on that role. We see Edison every now and then.
Temple of Anubis.
Pretty solid when it comes to that Reaper play, but many have been saying that this is probably the scariest form that the Atlanta Reign come in right now. And quickly back on circle back on the Jonak topic, it's crazy how many players said they wanted to emulate his style back in Season 1, right? So many Zenyatta players, so many Ana players said,
I'm going to go get my beer real quick while they're starting right now.
Of like a Jonak or a Jehong. I really want to, strike fear into the hearts of the enemy team while also healing my own. And that was what Jonak was really able to do as an example. Again, we said, with the Moira compositions, that can be a little bit harder to do, but we know that the NYXL have actually been toying a little bit with the Brigitte here in their double shield and a couple of other setups. Let's Jonak look a little bit better here on the Baptiste, where he really outputs some incredible healing. It's statistically a shame, though, because the NYXL have not been able to convert that into quite as many teamfight wins as Atlanta have, even with Iris getting less of that sort of team healing per 10 minutes, man.
So we
haven't really seen a meta that Jonak's been able to go back and play that Zenyatta in a very long time, right? It's really been a lot about Moira, Brig, Baptiste, Ana.
to Baptiste.
Throughput.
Yeah, his throughput really kind of became king. So for NYXL, they'll play double shield on defense. Friday will be playing the Mercy to pocket the Ashe and the Echo. So Kai will probably play Ashe here. Actually going to bust out the Hanzo. Try and get some of that high ground control.
You get an off angle here to pressure the defending position with. You can play on his arch or even on the left-hand side, right? Just peek over cheekily every now and then. I don't know. Watching Hanzo in this position, it always feels inevitable that eventually they just break through with sheer front-loaded damage available. And the NYXL don't even want to hold this high ground, man.
They give this is wild. That is so odd. That typically you see teams they will stay on the bridge and fight for this bridge control.
They're so defensive.
NYXL will drop back to point.
Oh, it hurts them.
Oh, the headshot on Flora.
Just, get a pick on a Flora.
There's a res, but still.
It's very difficult though. Like they're not really getting much value out of their shields here.
No, the res is already burned early in the fight here. The Rangers start leaning into the point. They create a lot more space for Kai to do his work. They can't peek out with the amplification matrix in play. They've got one of their own now. A lot of that gets kinetic grassed up by Hawk, who just plays around that left side corner. Jonak wants to do some damage here, but the Reign have made themselves scarce after getting 99.1%.
They're at 99%. Feather will get both tanks here, which is the saving grace for NYXL potentially. Because you have 2 kills returned on the other side, and then Hawk will get a res.
With the hole.
So maybe if you're Atlanta, you're able to do something out of this.
Yeah, I mean, Hawk gets rezzed into an off angle, and Pelican replaces Gator now, duplicating this Orisa. Dragon Strike, I don't think that Yakman was ready for that at all. He turned his back on the Dragon Strike, and he gets punished as a result here. The Reign were ready to play.
Masa with a kill on a Flora goes up to the high
Look how
ground.
low
Takes out the Ashe,
buff was
then
from
gets in a
Orisa.
Mercy battle.
Somebody
But,
could have just
for
turned and
NYXL,
shot it, but they were just so...
I actually think they have a composition you can play really well here on Anubis. I actually like what they're running. I just don't think you can afford to give up that type of map positioning so easy, like without any type of
Look at this
push or pull or fight, exchange of damage. They just kind of give it up 100%.
They're scared of the Hanzo, I think. They just don't want to deal with Kai in an off angle where they can't keep track of him, I feel. It does seem very passive, right?
But if you play that passive and you drop to the point, as the Ant Matrix will come in, Supercharger here as well. Why even play with the shields? Like nobody getting any value out of it there. You're just kind of playing bunker on the point.
Yeah, you're playing inside the room. Masa, okay, asks for a little bit too much there. Brings Pelican back into the fight, but gives up his life in exchange. Feather now has a decent little off angle. Is going to copy. Oh, that's a big halt, and yes, no one from the Reign is going to be leaving this room unscathed. Not a chance.
That was really nicely played by Feather, even for the duplicate. When we were on board with Masa and he was thinking about going for the res, he knew that Feather was there because he had picked up that kill. And Feather just
That
kind
was
of
a nice
waits,
ult
I think,
by,
for the
New
sound
York,
cue,
I'll
and
say.
then comes around the corner and goes for the kill onto Masa. So really nice play there from Feather, as you still have potential to hold here for NYXL. You know, 330 goes really quick, especially with these double shield slow compositions on Anubis.
You have Gravitic Flux, Dragon Strike. You'll still need to contend with that Immortality field, but the Reign are definitely hoping to set up something.
Yeah, the
big
game
with
when
that.
you're playing it, even in like a quick
to
play,
take the mega.
it's so like you just have to
Be a
push. You're
factor
like
as it
push,
should
push,
be able
push,
to
push, push. You know?
respawn pretty quickly. Kai, let the Dragon Strike go there. They don't really combo that with the Gravitic Flux, but Hawk uses the Dragon Strike, positioning how it funnels the NYXL into that right-hand side to try and get some value there, and it works out. Yakupug eventually falls. Bianca was brought back into the fight, but there's no Orisa right now here for the NYXL. Pelican actually playing a pretty safe spot. You don't want to Gravitic Flux that up your Bianca because you're only getting a duplicated Ash. You can just fly away as it becomes Echo once more. Matt Kai's brought back into the fight, and Friday's down.
Oh,
yeah,
Bob
and
with
NYXL,
the
they're
save.
just trying to keep this going. There's not really a great path for them to take this point back, as Feather will take out Pelican. You do have Flora getting you know, some damage in, but can they keep going on this? Bianca will get on, Friday will now get on. I don't think they're going to have enough time for anybody else to get a touch, so that'll be it with 2 minutes and 29 in the time bank for the Atlanta Reign. And like you mentioned, they set that up perfectly. So they shoot the Dragon across. It splits off the NYXL, forces them into that back right corner by their spawn. But you have Hawk and Pelican playing on that side. And Hawk raises them up with the Gravitic Flux. And then after that, you have Pelican in a position where he just looks up, he sees one player's weak, focus beams him down, you have the other damage that goes down on everybody else. And they also have like a an Amp Matrix playing at that cross angle as well. And beautiful setup there for Atlanta to be able to take the point.
There we go.
Pelican playing so deep is Ash there, really aggressive. Despite Ash's tendency to prefer to play back there, but you know, we see Bianca go up with the Gravitic Flux, and there's no way he's going to hit the Ash with it. So much free damage there for Pelican, who is, as was pointed out earlier, the more aggressive, really wants to go deep here on this Echo, stretch it to the very limit. But he has Kindness final moments, of course. This is Bianca just getting blown up. That kill on Friday is huge. He can technically stall for a few seconds. That would have given time for Yakupong to actually get back on the point.
Yeah, I mean, he was literally like
Reign,
half a second
pretty happy
away.
with that, Matt. 2:29
that,
in the
Hanzo
time
pick
back.
was that won it.
Yeah, and we'll see what NYXL decides to do here on offense. As Atlanta set up on D, they'll play that double shield. They'll match this if New York wants to play it. I do want to see though if Atlanta gives up that bridge as easily as New York. What we've seen from Atlanta in the past is that they won't give that up. That they'll play pretty strong for that area of the map. As see if New York decides to stay on this. So this is okay. They'll actually
Flora doesn't want to play
Hanzo comp. Interesting. So this is a different look from NYXL. We haven't seen them opt for this. They played. We were talking during the commercial break. This is a map where we've seen them even play Orisa Zarya. There's not many teams in APAC have played like this style of rush. A lot of teams have opted for different variations of things. NYXL picking it up though, trying to play it here versus Atlanta.
We see Gator just throw the shield down, say, you bloody beauty, all right, we'll deal with this dive composition. We'll hold our ground here on the high ground. That means the NYXL right now, ladies and gentlemen, are playing for Coalescence. They're going to build it up. There'll be plenty of poke damage here to allow that to happen. Friday probably just keeps speed on. You see he's not going to be healing, cannibalizing Jonark's ult charge. However, once Cole is in, then he can boost healing as much as he wants as they get into the fight. Here they go. That Coalescence get fired up, but Jonark gets knocked off course there by the Holt. It makes it hard for him to keep the players under his scrutiny. And that Immortality
New
kill is a
York, what are
perfect
you
time
doing?
by Polaris. It's still not enough for the Reign to stay alive, though, because Flora gets deep and finds both tanks.
And NYXL, that was beautifully executed.
That was a nice
That's
push.
what a lot of
That
teams
was
decide to do.
definitely
You farm up that Coalescence, and then you push in behind it. Is Kai, though, up on the high ground. He'll have a Bob, and he's going to decide to drop it there. You do have Iris here. This would be a crazy turn of events, though, for the Atlanta Reign.
What?
All right, self-destruct goes off there. The shield of Yakupong actually blows up just a little after. There might have been something there, perhaps, but decent time by. The Atlanta Reign actually have some reinforcements to come back in with now. Hawk is just trying to dip his toe in ever so slightly, but Flora chomping in the bit every time an enemy shows himself. He's there on that Reaper, punishing them. And this is one of the reasons why, Matt, I think, you know, unrelatedly, Dallas is looking like one of the best teams right now, because when that Lucio Moira comp works like that, it rolls over the double shield. There's no time to respond if you're playing Orisa.
Yeah, and the NY Excelsior is going to try and snowball this. They're going to have their own coalescence. This is an Ant Matrix that comes in from Iris.
Here we go.
Beautiful TP there from Flora.
The Reaper Copter lands just outside Atlanta Reigns' spawn. Masa dips out briefly, brings back Iris. Really key resurrect there, as Iris was a few seconds away at least, and they'll have another immortality field in a few moments. The Brigitte from Masa. And there's going to be a McCree here for Kai. Defensive pick, trying to deal with this aggression coming at their spawn. Jonak's able to find Masa, though, with the Biotic Orb, and Feather is not going to let them out of the door without a heavy toll. He's in a duplicated Diva. It's all house money that the NYXL are playing with, and my God.
Well played, New York.
Push comp looked good.
New York was like, no.
That was so well executed there from NYXL. A little bit surprised, like kind of
now we go into overtime.
Because, like we mentioned, this is something that we haven't seen them run a ton of.
So you basically have whatever you bank.
We've seen
so
teams
Atlanta obviously
pull it
has
out
less time,
sparingly at times, but not the main composition that teams are going for. And it was definitely a worry and a concern that we talked about it a little bit this week on Pod Chat, especially for like a team like Shanghai, who we haven't really seen play, that Winston-based, Moira, Lucio Rush at the level of some of the teams like Atlanta or Dallas. But New York coming out early and showing some different looks, right? They played the Wrecking Ball there on Lijiang Tower. They then tried to play some Winston. It didn't look good on Lijiang Tower, but here on Temple of Anubis, that was very strong.
I mean, it looked pretty formulaic in that fight as well, Matt. The Coalescence was built by Jonak, and the Reign trying using Immortality Field to buy them time to heal up. They can't. They get crushed by Flora in their backline as Reaper.
Well, to be fair, I mentioned that they didn't look great on it on Lijiang Tower. That is in the mirror.
All right, so
this was playing that rush into the double shield,
see
very
if Kai
static
pops
composition. What I love to see from New York here is not give up this bridge. Do not fall back to the point. That gives Atlanta Reign so many avenues to take high ground with the Echo and the Hanzo and just force you into the health pack room.
And I feel like
you up,
giving up the bridge gives them nowhere to play with this Ashe map.
They're going to play this. Yeah, they're going to play for the bridge this time with the way they're positioned, because they're actually playing the Ashe down on the bridge.
Big hit there taken by Flora. Probably a wayward arrow from Kai if I was a guessing man. That's a hold there. Yeah, easy shots for Kai. So, whichever way you sliced it, it looks like the NYXL struggle on this first point defense, Matt.
Yeah, just it seems like they're just not in sync.
Yeah, they're not going to get
when to go, when to pull back. It seemed like they're Bianca and Flora not really in position to capitalize on any of that, but they started to push in with the Orisa, and then a halt comes through, and they get taken out pretty quickly.
That's plenty of time to cap it.
End of the world.
They
for
probably
New York, right?
got
You have
1,
3 minutes
2.
and 40
they got
seconds
2
in your
fights at
time
least.
bank, but you don't want to get in this situation.
I mean, they're going to be cutting close.
Starting to
I mean,
build
realistically, they only have
ultimates
one
can
fight
take,
left.
the second point here.
Yep, the risk of there being some sort of snowball is real. The NYXL need to be ready to double down and play that defensive style they are so known for. Amplification Matrix forces them out of line of sight, but that's exactly what Pelican wanted. It's sticking bombs to the back corner, Matt. That's the NYXL because they disengaged to this part of the map, and it's all to Atlanta Reign's plan. That's where they want them to run to. Kai going to play in main there. I mean, Yakpong had to use that Fortify, or he would have died. He was less than half HP inside the Gravitic Flux, and Pelican drops him anyway. Duplicated Sigma comes up for 2 kills. That's 1 tick already for the Atlanta Reign. It's a nice Biotic Grenade from Jonak here, and a great to see a reprise on this roll on the Ana, but doesn't look nearly as good without any teammates to back him up, man. This is a disaster for New York.
Come in and hopefully push him off.
This is brutal as Yakpong will swing his way onto the point. You'll probably have Pelora here trying to get a touch, but he gets taken out. This is bad news here for the NYXL. As they have a great offense. Their defense here in OT, and Atlanta's able to finish in time. That is brutal. That's a huge comeback for the Atlanta Reign. This team, I think one of the questions was, can they battle back against adversity in a series like this? Coming out there after losing pretty handily to New York on their attack. It's a good thing to see if you're an Atlanta Reign fan.
And every time Atlanta push point be on attack, Matt, they do something, anything, Dragon Strike or Amplification Matrix, to force NYXL into the back right corner of the map towards their spawn. That's where there's a gravitic flux. That's where there's like a pelican pouncing with all these sticky bombs, right? They're always just corralling NYXL together in that corner and punishing them.
Yeah, I'd love to see where those pelican sticky bombs come from. I wonder if there's like an angle, what they use that amp matrix in the initial choke that he's able to see towards that back right angle.
It was the right alleyway. I think he was just airborne on like where we're looking right now. We don't get to see it, This is that Sigma duplicate that's pretty darn impactful here from Pelican.
Bob just disappears.
Oh man. So if you had Pelican 3K on your bingo card, you can tick that off now. I'm pretty sure all of you do because that's the one that the league provided. I'm supposed to make a tropical-related pun. I have one prepared for later, so just be listening out.
A tropical-related pun.
There is a bingo card for the June Joust. You should see your one. It's hilarious.
What is mine?
I'm not going to ruin it for you. Let Matt know. Wrong answers only, chat. Let Matt know what is on the bingo card. All right, 8.7 seconds remaining. That's a little miffed. I mean, I kind of forgot, I'll be honest with you. I'm just covering it up a little bit, but all right. NYXL hit 3 minutes. No, not really. It's not very memorable,
I would have remembered yours.
No, you would have, but then you would have lied about it anyway. That's the difference.
Did you buy some?
Yeah. Oh, I create a masterpiece.
There we go.
There we bring out the drawing kit.
Yeah, please. Thank you.
We need to untellustrate it, Matt. I think that's what we need here. Because tell us what NYXL are going to do. They've got 3 minutes here to work with, but the Rain play a little far forward off this platform. Interesting setup. This is different.
Yes, the Rain, they'll actually let New York in here. You do have a switch.
Oh,
what? That's crazy. As you are playing the D.Va here for Atlanta, so they're not playing double shield. They're playing the Orisa with the D.Va. This, you don't actually mind them if they come in to try and play a little bit close, because if NYXL goes towards that point and tries to push it with the double shield,
that Hanzo pick
the D.Va who can
Pelican. I told you Pelican
pressure onto Tora and on the feather.
I don't know. It's going to be a good matchup. Atlanta against whoever wins
before,
the next match.
I've been wrong before.
Atlanta just looks good.
Constantly. Oh, okay. Well, that'll happen sometimes. The inevitable Hanzo random headshot. Flora may have been aiming for his target. It may not have been. We'll never know. Either way, there has to be rest here. But the Rain, look, they're playing that passive style that you didn't like from New York, but they're doing it safely. They're playing around the edges here.
New York is also not getting aggressive and trying to play off of some of these advantages. So you're not, Atlanta, you've done your job and taken both points, right? And finished with time. New York had 3 minutes on the clock.
I have a bad feeling.
1:40. Yeah.
Oh, Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good. This could go so badly for the NYXL match. The Dragon Strike gets used on the assumption that the Atlanta Rain are playing in that right side room here from this perspective. They're not. They're on the left-hand side. It's just a duplicated supercharger sat there. The NYXL misread that.
And I wonder why they come out and play this after they looked so good with the Winston-based comp. Like, they rolled them with that Winston-based comp. Against something pretty similar to this. The only change is Hawk here on the D.Va. I think NYXL, when they are decisive and they decide and they go and they commit, that's when they've looked great. It's when you kind of have this indecision here where you're not playing for position, right? We're just kind of seeing where you can go and what can happen. Like, they're not really trying to take control of anything.
Kai very low here. Feather trying to chase down, follow up on that a little bit, but the healing is there from Masa. Bob gets deployed to the point there, and Feather's frustrated. Can't find too much there, hoping for something with the self-destruct. He gets a supercharger. That's it. He's forced back, but the cavalry arrives. Yaku's on the high ground, so the rest of the NYXL.
Like you could have come out and tried to play for this high ground, a minute ago.
Yeah.
Now
they have to win this
brought
engagement.
yourself down to 15 seconds on the clock, and you're losing players.
Flora absolutely wilts. Brought back to life by Friday here, but the NYXL are running out of time. It has to be an immortality field use on the high ground. They can't even save that for the point. They won't have it up in time for when they actually need to capture. Pelican, steps back and sits on the point. That was strange stuff from the NYXL.
Yeah, as Yakpung went to go fall, he's so weak. They can't keep him alive. And you got to see New York come out and be more decisive on where they want to go, what they want to fight for. Right there, they spent so much time, just kind of poking and prodding, and they weren't making anything happen on the map. They weren't forcing Atlanta to react. New York really needs to commit to something. I want to see them actually go back to that Winston-based composition. They look quite good against Atlanta's double shield.
Listen, Matt,
there were some picks there, like between Kai and Pelican. Like they both had moments where they just popped off at exactly the right times to like turn an engagement, and that was the difference between winning and losing. Like that Pelican echo kill onto their Hanzo when they were just doing that push. That chewed up like 30 seconds there, which would have been a potential another push had they lost like they did, or even an extra touch, which potentially gives you another chance to keep going forward. But they lost that because he got picked off by Echo. Hanzo got picked up by Echo. Think about that for a second. Hanzo got picked off by Echo, not the other way around.
And by State Farm.
It was wild.
For auto, home, or renter's insurance, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Like a good neighbor, alcoholism is there. Is he just chilling in Hawaii? It's just a videos of one of the commentators. He's just chilling. Oh man, this makes me even more excited for the Dallas Fuel Shanghai Dragons match because I feel like it's going to be even better. It's going to be like another tier up. So next week, as a reminder, schedule changes from 8:30 to 10. So we'll be streaming for an hour and a half each day. So we're basically cutting the time in half, pretty much. I'm decided I'm going to get into a little bit more of trading. So the first hour of trading in the morning is the busiest. So if I want to do some like options day trading like I want to, that hour in the morning is crucial. So I'm going to do that. I have a little challenge for myself, which I'm not going to talk about too much right now, but here in like 30 days, we'll see. But we'll see how it goes. Yeah, but we'll see. So we got another minute. So I don't know if y'all saw, but there was a what was the an Elden Ring. What? Shroud posted where he has gameplay? What? Hold on. Still got like a minute. Old Shroudy.
Yeah, I've never played this character before, so we'll see what happens.
We can hit it.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I'm about to get rough. I need you to tank hard. All right, it's gonna be rough. Mike, what did your guy do?
So we actually got to play this today.
Damage, looks like.
That's insane.
Yeah, there's a lot of like little loot and stuff
all right,
you can get. You can...
Whoa. We got about 20 seconds. Dang. The benefits to being a high-end streamer, you get to get the game in its dev build, not alpha, not beta, dev build. Well, I mean, the game comes out in like 2 weeks, so I hope it's not a dev build, but.
The Overwatch League is brought to you
Cheese
by
it, Braves.
So much flavor, it's a mind crunch.
So it's the first to 3 maps, so we'll see. Once the other game starts, I'm going to be honest, I'm going to switch over.
The
So
official data management partner of the Overwatch League.
Evil Dead looked really cool too.
That's right, the Angel of Death is here. Get yourself the new Widowmaker Legendary skin now through June 21st for just 200 League tokens. No, she won't step on you, but she will make you look good when you get out there shooting heads in ranked, ladies and
But
gentlemen.
you also have
Great
to be really
our
good at
Joust
playing
party now,
Widowmaker,
so
which
try to
she's
shake Matt down
extremely
for
hard. But if you're good with her,
keep
she is
no
deadly.
Keep clammed up. Yeah, Fort Knox about it. Wouldn't tell me you think. Thought we were mates. Guess not. Unlucky.
This skin is so sick, though. I was playing some ranked yesterday, and I selected Widowmaker the entire time, even when it wasn't really needed.
Oh, that's weird. You wouldn't do that normally. It's just a skin.
Look at that.
But everybody loved it because they had this skin. We can take a look at your power rankings here with IBM Watson.
Look at Dallas Fuel.
Lobby.
Pelican
The top 5.
Pelican, oh yeah, I was in the one where you Kings Row and you can become
You have a job? You go to the and you earn money?
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah, and you earn money.
I love workshop.
You see, it's pretty much the Dallas Fuel and Pelican. Just kind of at the top of our power rankings. As he's been sick, Hawk on there as well, sneaking his way up.
Yeah, I mean, these two got catapulted, I think, into this top 10 after an incredible performance recently. Here it is. It's Glitz Clam. It's the PC setup here in Hawaii for your Atlanta Rain. Big shout out.
They're in Hawaii? Well,
They didn't get the Danny Lim setup there with the beach and the...
Oh no, I've
Danny
told,
vibe.
and Danny obviously has like a space where he casts from. Yeah, just off cameras like a bunch of surfboards. So the vibe is still there. You know what I mean?
All right, let's turn this
Big
up.
shout out
Here's
to,
some of
the
this
fam out
silly
there at the
commentary.
University of Wyoming. Big fan of y'all.
Here we go.
Great to be partnering up with them again here for the June Joust, and it's Numbani time, Matthew. And well, it's go time for the NYXL. We're gonna have to come up with something
it's a assault
right
point
now. Otherwise, it's lower bracket time for them.
I feel like we have seen them, though, play compositions, at least in this series, that it looks like they can contend with teams like the Atlanta Rain on. Really kind of curious of why they went for the double shield on their second offensive attack after making, the Winston-based compositions work really well on their first one. Maybe this is a map that they go back to some of that Winston-based stuff.
I mean, it definitely looked like it had some legs against the Atlanta Rain when they had to pull it out for the NYXL. I can't quite put my finger. I think if I asked our compatriots who often worked APAC games if they could put their finger on the NYXL's comp, they'd probably give a similar answer. It's probably been a little bit tough to do. They've been playing a ton of different stuff. Look, it says a lot about the region and just how dynamic you have to be to succeed in the APAC region. It seems like the NYXL has made through here, showing us tons of different looks, and neither of them we can really, definitively
Atlanta
say this is
has an 89%
NYXL.
win ratio on hybrid
This is what they
maps in
bring.
the season, 8-1.
The fact is, Matt, they're going up against a very well-honed Atlanta.
The highest of any
strategy,
team on any map
Often around the
type.
Orisa Sigma, but with tweaks like the Diva, you definitely.
What? No. Okay, there we go. Oops, somebody's getting fired.
Atlanta have just made this look
Somebody
incredibly
took
good.
over
They've
the
beaten the very best in the West with this team.
Right, and a lot of people who obviously follow APAC and covered it really expected the Hangzhou Spark to be here. They go undefeated in the June Joust and the qualifiers. They look tremendous, but New York handed them a big L, in the knockouts. So it's going to be the NYXL playing the Winston-based composition on D, which is what they looked good in. But now you have even a stronger bunker comp being built here by the Atlanta Rain. Kai on the trusted and true Torbjorn.
Well, for the NYXL, this may as well be Normandy Beach, because that is not the kind of comp you want to dive on. Flora gets taken down early. He's held in place by the looks of things, and Pelican finishes the job. That's Master sallying forth with a shield batch that sends the NYXL reeling.
Well, this tests their dive. Really heavy. This is brutal to go into. They are not able to get to the point. That's a beautiful. That's a bash by Masa on the Yacht as he was coming in to prevent him from getting onto the point that last second. Now, what do you go to though? If you're New York, the tough thing is though here, Mitch. Atlanta can stay on this. This is a composition you can continue to run. If New York makes changes, you're going to lose out here in this street space of the map. most likely you end up losing towards the end because there's not a heavy investment from the Atlanta Reign through this phase. So New York, for now, looks to be staying on this. You probably stay on it till at least you get this Coalescence and use it and get a try to break this setup.
I'd rather swan dive in a septic tank than to have to jump onto the composition that the Reign are playing right now. It's brutal. Look at how much damage Yakong's already taken. They need the Coalescence to even get off the starters blocks, but eventually, be it begrudgingly, they go. Coalescence comes back from the Reign, though. They get it just in time, as some of them are looking a little worse for wear. And Molten Core is now available here for Kai. And the NYXL are pushed around the corner. They are all forced to play around the ball here, but Pelican takes him by the horns. That's a death blossom for 2. Oh, the NYXL, they are in deep,
with
deep
the
trouble.
2K.
But this composition for Atlanta plays into the things that New York does not. Like, New York doesn't want to be the one that sets the pace and the tempo. They're very reactive. With
Stiff biscuits! They have to!
They have to. They have to. Because if you don't ever engage, the Atlanta Reign are going to sit on the cart and they're going to say, push us off, muscle us off. They're trying to go in here with a sound barrier. This will be a rally popped by Masa.
Molten Core, perfect ultimate if you want to try and get this card across the line. Bianca constantly being singed as he's the one that's been called on to try and keep this card from going across the line. Kai does go down to the self-destruct, but Gator and Masa looking very healthy still. Masa repositions here and he's ready to juggle the juggler at this stage. A lot of Inspire procs there as eventually the Reign just grind it out. The NYXL will get to come up with an answer to
Atlanta's
this.
looking so good. Like, I'm telling you.
New York is so. This is confusing me so much. And I'm going even back to Anubis. You run this composition, it works on Anubis, and then your second go around you don't run it. And then here, you're committing so heavily to it against a composition that's really built to just roll through this. It's a very odd choices coming in from NYXL here.
Death Blossom and Hawk not able to cover up much of that damage there from Flora. He gets desuited, but with a self-destruct, he's able to get rid of Friday, and this might be about to turn around. Kai pushes forward. It's a rivet to the dome there for Flora as he's sent packing. And this is it, the Reign. This is about as rushy as they look. They're still playing together as a death ball, though.
This is one of the tankiest compositions you can build.
And Gator has
the
ult.
with the Orisa and the Diva. Kai, when he pops the Molten Core, he gains the armor, becomes really tanky. Reaper as well.
Oh, God.
In the Brig, this will be a Supercharger rally here for the Atlanta Reign.
Gator protecting the Supercharger with his shield, not his team. That's how important that damage amplification is to them right now, and there's nothing, not a thing the NYXL can do about it. Absolutely stumped are they. Here's the Atlanta Reign. They imperiously cruise around the corner into the end of the map with 3 minutes and 34 to spare.
And New York, I think they really they commit the entire map once they commit to that through the streets phase. That's
Atlanta
really when they decide
and whoever
this
wins
is
the next
comp
match
we're gonna roll with till the end.
Can't listen.
Not the right decision though. Atlanta perfectly executed. I bet you that was probably something they had mentioned during the break, the small break there where we were just looking at Danny's feet on the beach. Where, they probably discussed, like, hey, if they come out and play that Winston-based composition, which we haven't seen them play a ton of, let's not opt for a double shield setup. Let's opt for something very bunkery, which they probably have not played against and have not seen.
Yeah, because it's
really
not double
good
shield.
strategy.
It has the Torb, no Echo. No Echo, by the way, which is really unheard of. In fact, Dallas have never done that in this tournament cycle.
Yeah.
Yeah, and with the Batiste and Mercy, it's kind of... we don't really have an archetype name for it outside of Divers at Your Own Peril. But here's something a bit more standard from Atlanta now, Matthew. So Pelican is on the Echo, not the Reaper. And they're playing the Orisa.
See them change. I wonder if, like, let's say they lose here, because this is the composition. Well, this is actually the variation of it that they ran on Anubis that ended up working out for them when they actually had the even mix opposed to having the Sigma. I wonder if this does not work, though. We see them opt for that Torbjorn setup as New York trying to push in here, go towards that high ground.
Hawk's trying to get information and limit the amount of damage he takes.
They're just building a
Matrix
coalescence. I mean, this is, yeah, they're just building a coalescence here. they're not really trying to do anything until Jonak gets this. So
it's almost like the Rain know this, right?
Yeah, but I mean,
they know
this. Pelicans are already at a duplicate. All of the damage going in there is Pelican. Feather, I mean, look at it, 30%. They're going to be surprised that Pelican has a duplicate, probably.
Copies Diva. Coalescence could get some value here, but the Rain falls back around that corner and they deal with Flora. They kind of disengage that self-destruct. Oh my god, Pelican chasing him down. The NYXL have lost Flora and their front line is looking battered and bruised right now. Gator's back in the fight. It just gets worse and worse for New York.
That time, though, they allow Pelican to get that duplicate early. He is just wonderful use of the defense matrix when he's on the Diva. You know, a lot of times it's just another
Atlanta's just looking good.
out there, but he
Whoever wins, I'm telling you, Dallas and Shanghai, that shit, I keep saying that, but fuck, it's going to be nuts. I mean, the Dallas-Shanghai match is going to be insane anyway, it's just because Dallas is looking ridiculous.
No, with a dive.
I hope it's Dallas and Atlanta. I'm pretty sure it's going to be Dallas and Atlanta.
Back out immediately, and now we're seeing them try and go towards the street.
Okay. They are wavering, a little uncertain. Who are they diving? Probably Iris, but there's the Coalescence there from Jonak. Iris is going to go for that Immortality Field. He's barking out orders to the rest of his team, but Yakpung's already been dispatched of. Bianca is now the only one that can access Iris's position, and it's not enough stopping power.
But look at how deep you are. I mean, they're not putting any pressure on the point. So there's no reason for, like, Gator or Hawk to have to go, stay on the point and defend. It's just basically a team fight that takes place right in front of the Atlanta Reign spot. Like, even if New York comes out on top, like, let's say in a player advantage there, they still have to double back to the point. By the time they get on the point, Atlanta's going to be respawning, and they're going to get another fight there. So, I understand the need to try and get Kai out of position and push him back. I just think there's probably you can do with it with a little bit less of a commitment.
I mean, there's careful, and then there's dithering. And I can't tell how close to that end of the spectrum the NYXL are right now, because they again have to disengage. They back up from the air matrix there.
Because sometimes they really push the issue and they go, like that time. But then sometimes they look so timid. This will be a big push, though. This will be a sound barrier that comes through for New York. You'll probably have Yakpung also end up using Primal during this. Is New York throwing everything at this fight.
Bob there deployed. Flora just Wraith walks past him. Teleports to the high ground. Iris is down. No one's capturing the point just yet. It'll be a shield dance briefly for Gator, but he really can't hold up 1v1 against the Reaper. Some stall here might go a long way.
At least Flora put pressure on the point, though. Who's Yakpung again? They don't even touch here for Atlanta. No, Hawk will end up getting demacked. But at least you had Flora put pressure on the point. He puts pressure on the point. It forces Gator to stand there. He can't go back and fortify and shield and do all the things that Arisa is able to really disrupt.
We're on the road, man. That's a Coalescence early here. Okay, so the Rain not fully set up here, and the NYXL spot an opportunity to win a fight. I guess that stops the Rain from contesting en masse. I don't know if it stops them entirely, though. Master's pretty happy just topping everyone up and waiting for reinforcements here. Good hold on Bianca on the high ground. Flora has to Wraith early. Nice bubble. That was really well put down by Yakpung to support the Reaper. And that's a cleaner fight win there for New York.
And Atlanta's going to make some changes. Pelican will end up using his self-destruct. He'll get one. They're going to res Iris.
Okay.
Maybe they're able to make it, but you see Kai, he's gonna play the Torb here. I think you'll probably
if they make it all the way, I'll be really surprised.
Reaper once he goes back to a spot.
So they can maybe die twice.
There, and then this is on like Donkey Kong. Kai's here. Hawk. And Gator. So the whole zoo's arrived now.
The whole zoo.
Is where it gets serious.
They failed to get all grouped up and get this coalescence. This also allows Atlanta to get set up.
Yes, they reposition just to pick off the Torb turret first. Very methodical. NYXL. There's a Coalescence here for Jonak, so he'll want long sight lines like this one. Good dive there from Yakpung, and here's the fight. Pelican gets caught. Jonak is able to beam him down. Pelican's getting pulled back into the fight, though, and that self-destruct creates plenty of space. Hawk is going to sit on the cart for the time being. Sticky Bombs makes it a little bit harder. Looks like Pelican gets caught, but is able to duplicate into a Diva very quickly. Molten Core can be used, but it's unclear how effective it will be because Feather's causing so many problems, and that remet kill has got to seal the deal, Matt.
Yeah, you just save it. Pelican with a self-destruct there at the end, but you save the Molten Core. Iris will now go over to the Moira. You're going to have the Brig come into play. Pelican probably goes to Reaper. This is kind of the composition with the Reaper in the mix.
Yep.
And you can play for the clock. Yeah, there's the switch from Pelican. 2 minutes on the clock here to get this across the line. Third point. If you have one good hold from Atlanta and force New York to use some of these ultimates, you're in a good spot to get this hold.
That shield doesn't last long. That Molten Core, as you mentioned, is held. 1 minute 45 on the clock here. Again, the NYXL, they're back up there. They're so positioning oriented, this New York's team. And look, they make it look good. They're very coordinated. They're looking for a weakness, some kind of weakness here on the side of the Atlanta Reign. So far, they get rid of the Torp turret and the Supercharger. It's a good start, but some bodies need to be hitting the floor in a moment. And that's it. Floor is only in the death loss on Kai. He's caught sort of looking a little bit awkward. Mid-Molten Core there.
Now you might be able to do this if you're New York. You're going to have the self-destruct clear point out. Your biggest worry here is Iris getting that coalescence, but New York, they push up. They want to try and block the door.
Iris has the cold. He's going to make his way out. Kai there on the other side, going to be a little bit on his own here, but the coalescence keeps him topped up. Yakpung takes a smattering of damage as he's forced to take steps back. Again, look at NYXL. This is another disengagement. Essentially play back behind Yakpung, but he's too low to dive. They've got to go.
Yeah, and they're trying to farm up this coalescence, and the rally comes through from Masa. Look at how aggressive Atlanta's trying to get. They actually split New York off. So New York will come back now, though, with this Jonak coalescence trying to extend the series.
Hawk just trying to be patient here, play back a little bit. Orisa barrier still in play, and Flora's forced to use a Wraith Walk to the back line. This will slow things down a little bit for New York. Feather can't get a new mech and that duplicate there, and he could be in trouble. Shield bashed instantly. And here's a sound barrier for the NYXL. That was Pelican's self-destruct, necessitating the Lucio ultimate from New York. That's Flora's Death Blossom, looking pretty darn good there. It's in the name, I suppose. Yakpong and Flora looking to get their team across the line, and they do, Matt. It's a minute to work with for New York.
Yeah, the sound barrier there from Friday was the difference towards the end. Gave them the sustainability to get through the Death Blossom that Pelican dropped there. So you did have, I believe, a supercharger used by Gator, too. Still, only a minute on the clock. We know how slow New York operates. This is going to put a lot of pressure on them to go fast.
And, of course, it's a time extension for the Atlanta Reign as the NYXL finish the map with under a minute left. New York really
4 minutes, 19 seconds is an eternity for.
If that was an organic push time, it would be like it'd be up there. It'd be one of the faster times we've seen on this map. New York is so interesting, Matt, because they've demonstrated that they're very good at this little push-pull game. They try and sort of maybe bait some aggression. They disengage as a unit. Friday seems to really be coordinating, the use of the speed boost on this team. So it's quite elegant to watch the NYXL sort of, poke and prod, back away, and then fully commit. But there's no easy way of fully committing it against Atlanta Reign's composition. They're still getting success. A lot of it seems to come from, when those big Reaper ultimates come out, or there's like a big duplicate from Feather. But however you get the job done, that's fine. I just love how NYXL are setting up for these fights. Unfortunately, Matt, pound for pound, they still look weaker. They still look like they lack the stopping power. So now with 1 minute to go, they have to bring that out in full force.
Yeah, so they have no choice but to go here and get aggressive. They're going to play with that Winston-based composition. Atlanta, they don't play the Torbjorn Reaper at the start. Maybe they feel like there's other compositions that New York can pull out that are a little bit more niche that could take advantage of that setup.
Kai pressured, chill lid there. Damage boosted, of course, is Kai. And there was plenty of involvement from Gator there with the Hulk. Never going to be easy for the NYXL. They knew that. And Kai,
with the
finds himself 3 hits back to the sky.
Damn.
Yes, and now this is just desperation for New York. So you want to try and get at least a tick on the point to give yourself a chance. As Jonak will go over to the Ana here. So Ana Lucio, last moment. See if it'll be Bianca to get a touch.
He does. Then backs away on that right-hand side. It'll still be up to Bianca to contest, and that mech has run its course. Again, Yakpung tries to dive to the high ground, gets hit with a face full of sticky bombs, and now he's looking at himself in the mirror, except it's him, younger, better looking and bigger muscles. You hate to see that. Jonas now going to be jogging into the corner into oblivion, and now Pelican
It's him,
returns
the bigger
and starts
muscles.
leading the point. And there won't be much more here for the NYXL.
He is legitimately another tank.
Yep.
Like when we have other Echoes at duplicate, you know, they don't have that ability. Like you saw his primal rage there. You know, if you were just looking at the overhead map, like his positioning, you would think he's like Gator with the way he's playing it. But he is your flex DPS.
But this is what I'm telling you. Pelican primarily is duplicating Hawk, a Diva or another tank of some sort. He has the highest number of duplication kills. So, you know, he is duplicating these tanks, and he is getting the most amount of kills in the league as those tanks. So sometimes he's just outdoing. You know, when he gets the copy of Winston, then that team has Winston, Orisa, and Diva, everything you'd really ask for. That's the danger that Pelican brings. He's aggressive, you know, in Echo form, but when he duplicates,
Echo
he's
is
always
sick.
looking for a kill. He's not
That's
looking
a really
for
fun
displays.
character
He's
to
not
play.
looking to, you know, zone. He's looking to secure eliminations.
So your best case here for New York is a draw. So trying to get a draw here for the NYXL to keep the series alive. So it is not a good spot to be in if you're New York.
4-19, that is
insane.
No, it's brutal. I mean, staring down the barrel, that's tough.
And again, like you highlighted so many times in the first round, New York don't have the option to just back away and give space. They have to engage. They have to push Atlanta. Atlanta will just walk in. They'll just move into their house. All of a sudden, it'll be like really bad, like vinyls playing and old band posted on the walls. They're going to ruin the whole decor of the place. They have, at the NYXL, they have to take control of the situation, man. And that means they have to be aggressive.
Yes, I mean, all the time in the world for the Atlanta Reign. As Atlanta, they can hold on to these ultimates. They can, you know, force New York to use stuff. The only difference we see here for New York is they'll have the Ashe in the mix. They won't go for like a Batiste. They'll actually play Jonak on the awning. So maybe like heal a little bit more for a distance. Maybe that biotic grenades.
It's fan service.
He gets taken out by Kai.
It's just fan service at this point, man. There's a chance for Friday to bring Jonak back into the fight here. Again, you're not dealing with an enemy Winston, so you probably get some decent value out of the Ana if she's not going to be tested that heavily, but that wasn't proven to be the case. Kai just picks him up across the map. Gator here just studiously plugging away at with the fusion driver, and that's going to be it. That is the NYXL. It's an ignoble end for them here in the upper bracket, Matthew, as they, at no stage, really look like they understand how to deal with Atlanta.
Yeah, a bit of a disappointing showing, I think, for New York. At times, they showed that they can win team fights and they can succeed in different variations of the compositions used. But Atlanta, I think, just on another level right now. It's a little bit what we thought coming in, that Atlanta and Dallas could be on another level coming in to the June Joust, you know, the finals here. So we'll see what happens with our next series. But Atlanta makes quick work of the NYXL.
3-0.
And it's interesting to see both the East and the West regions. They definitely seem to be
Atlanta just looking, yeah, I mean, that wasn't a surprise. But yeah, that was pretty bonkers.
Dallas will not play, you know, these sort of double shield setups. Under very few circumstances do they go there. Maybe on Havana, which is, to my understanding, not even in the pool right now. The Atlanta Reign, they can tangle with you on the Lucio Moira stuff, and they will play it often on control. But when it comes to the payload-based maps or Temple of Anubis, as we saw, they want to play Orisa. They want to flex Hawk between Sigma and the Diva, and they want to get the most value out of Kai being just a literal aim god, and Pelican being able to play tank better than any other tank.
Tomorrow, so 10:30, 12, 7 to 10. So tomorrow night, okay, so these are the quarters, basically. Oh, so this is the top bracket, and then we have the losers bracket. So basically, whoever loses between Dallas Fuel and Shanghai is going to pay Excelsior tomorrow at 12, and then whoever wins between them is going to play Atlanta, and then they still will technically have a chance. So we're like in the, I guess, quarters, basically quarterfinals type thing. I mean, let's watch some of these highlights because these are fucking sick.
By far, as he has really been dominant on the hero.
Yeah, we talk often about the Echo matchups, the Echo v Echo stuff, but Pelican showed that he really wanted to make his mark, even on the Reaper here when this was Atlanta playing that Torbjorn setup. So that means it's one of the few times where Pelican, not Edison, will play Reaper on this team. The guy's insane. It's
look at that damage.
2 deaths per 10 minutes.
That's
a paltry
insane.
2 deaths per 10 minutes.
It's not surprising with the way the series was.
It's absurd. The average is like 4.5, Matthew.
Damn.
Yeah. It was a pretty one-sided affair, and he is up in the sky putting all the damage down.
Pretty good statistics.
So not
right,
too surprising to see him have this type of performance here.
You're in charge of this.
I mean, very impressive stuff from Pelican, and he's going up against in the upper bracket either like Sparkle or Doha, of course, as he sometimes plays the Echo, or Fleta, right? So there are world-class Echo opponents waiting for him in this bracket. And I still think you're crazy to bet against Pelican in these situations. Now, I kind of predicted that Dallas Fuel would probably come out on top here, but there's a lot to still be decided. And let's be honest, the East's number 2 seed does not hold a candle to the West's number 1 seed so far. It is quite a gulf between the two of them, I'll be honest with you. I'm interested to hear on some insights from Hawk, and we'll be back in a moment, of course, and then we'll hear from Hawk as the Atlanta Reign move on in the upper bracket of the June Joust.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by the University of Hawaii at Manoa. Go to takemetomanoa.org today.
You guys asked for it.
We definitely heard you ask for it.
We got you, fam.
This season, the Overwatch League and T-Mobile are partnering up to give you Overwatch League perks right here live on YouTube.
While we're clicking heads, you can click right here to connect your YouTube account to your Battle.net
to start earning Overwatch League perks by T-Mobile.
Collect Overwatch League perks to get skins, sprays, and more. Thank you guys so much for watching.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Shields up.
Go
All right,
shop.
Chair.
Ante up.
All right, Chair. Who's being mean? Tell me right now.
In Overwatch,
Chair tells
finding
me
an
everything.
advantage of 2 or 3% with data can be the difference between winning and losing. My job with the Gladiators is to find those edges and insights for better player performance.
You want to win? Focus on next fight.
For me, the numbers help tell the story. What IBM is doing with AI by introducing the power rankings is a game changer for the league.
That's cool. Sweet beer.
I'm so excited to be jumping into contenders.
It has all come down to this. The first grand final that's been absent of Hurricane in over a year.
You wanted a superstar! Island has produced one! Griffin! Shadow pipes free on the back line! And Griffin follows up with the 3K!
When Sigma plays Tracer, he pops off.
They have been denied the crown. Americans, when they don't need to recapture the confidence of the tier 2.
How long is it going to be? Because a lot of times...
House was able to get them the kill.
Somebody stop Seeker, he's angry. And here comes Seeker, once again, 5v3.
Let's see.
Oh no, Hurricane! Griffin on point. With the death blossom.
And how could you possibly pierce through this defense of American Tornado?
We are witnessing history, Lemon.
Do we have enough time to play a match? Let's see. I'm not going to pause this out. How much time do we have?
It's time.
All right, I might just play a match real quick. Just one match. I'm going to do a quick play. I'm not even going to do whatever. I'm just going to do a quick play real quick. Why is that like that? What the heck? Why is it all tiny? Oh, you know why? You know why? It's probably because of this. Maybe not actually. Never mind. Windowed, full screen. There we go. So we're gonna play quick play. We're gonna do Let's just do flex, whatever's available. Let's see. So the coverage is going to see, yeah. So like, still got the losers bracket. So now they're in the losers bracket. So even if, let's say Atlanta and Dallas play and Dallas loses or Atlanta loses, they still have a chance to go back and play in the finals, which is pretty cool. Either way. Oh, we got a match. All right, we're gonna play a match. One match real quick. All right, one match, one more again. I did a flex, so I have no idea what I'm gonna be. I can't wait until they do crossplay, because then I can play with my buddy on PS5, and I can still play on PC. Like, it's gonna be kind of lopsided, but we'll have to add like BattleNet and stuff. But still, worth, totally worth. Oof, what is going on? Oof, why is it so laggy? Laggy. All right, I'm just gonna close that up. I can just reopen it up. It's gonna take like 2 seconds. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Okay, what is going on? Okay. Okay. No. Did I break it? I have no idea what I just did. Let's go over here. Let's do this. Well. Try that again. Oh my God. There we go. For fuck's sake. Okay. So let's do this. Let's get everything back. Apparently. What happened? Literally all I tried to do. Let's see. Why the fuck is the weather on here? I don't want the goddamn weather. Why the fuck is the weather on here? No, I don't want this fucking taskbar down here. Why the fuck? Okay, so apparently I broke this. Yeah, because even my camera is not working. All right, well, we're going to have to stop this and